you doing today? I'm Fiadh. I'm a spirit and energy worker, a Reiki and healing arts practitioner. And today, what I'm offering is the next part of my chakra series. Where we'll be working to cleanse and balance the throat. Now, first off, I'd just like to thank everyone for the support, and if you haven't already, please like and subscribe if you feel so called. But with that out of the way, now we can get started. I'd just like to say in advance also, the throat is the one that I have the most trouble with. Always has been, on a physical level and on the more energetic sense. So you might hear me making a few throat clearing noises. Because I'm already feeling a lot coming up. I'm just gonna go behind you for a moment. Take this moment, take a deep breath in, exhale and release. Connect back to your body. And send honor to your highest self, to your throat. Show some gratitude. For what this centered does for us, for the power it holds, for the truth it holds. Because this is the center of our self-expression, our communication, and our truth. And only of your free will, if you feel so called, to invite in your healing guides, your plant and animal allies, and angels, all of those who wish you your highest and greatest good. May they step into this space to help heal, to cleanse, and to protect. I know this is about the throat, but I'm feeling called to actually start with the heart, the higher heart, and this channel into the throat, just to help cleanse and cleanse any blockages. Being mindful of that inner voice, that self-talk, and also the patterns of the stories we tell ourselves and the ones that we bring into being out into the world. Through the throat is our expression of our consciousness, our mind, our heart, our being, our soul, all parts of this consciousness. And we're moving through and bringing form, that form, our words, they carry power. And we bring those out into the world. And they are sent into the collective, and they are also sent back into us. So where are you speaking from? What stories are you telling? Is it from an embodied place of the highest self, of your current truth, of love, of compassion, of kindness, of empowerment, of trust? Or is it from a place of fear, of lack of self-worth, of anger, and not productive anger, but just bitterness and resentment? This doesn't mean never sharing the bad stuff or communicating negative experiences, or if you're feeling sad, share how you feel. But honoring this space with openness, with love, with compassion and curiosity. How are you narrating around those experiences? So coming from this place of the ego, of those root beliefs that aren't helpful, that we convince ourselves are truth, but they're just something that has been programmed into us. Or is it from actual truth? Because the more we tell that story, the more we bring it out into form, it comes back to us, and it becomes a confirmation. So we want to feed into the good things, the powerful things, and not necessarily feed into that kind of self-feedback loop. I know that was kind of abstract, so I'll give an example because that can often be helpful when we're trying to communicate abstract ideas, especially energetically. So for example, this was a few years ago. I was actually seeing a tarot reader, I believe. And she would ask me questions, mostly focused on why I wasn't going after the things that I wanted to do, basically. You know, why was I afraid to do anything new? And every time, and I didn't consciously realize I was doing this, I was saying, I don't think I can handle it. What if it's too much for me? So on and so forth. And gee, that was a good opportunity for her to reflect that back to me of why you think you can't handle that. And I realized within my mind that was just me. That was just my ego trying to stay safe, stay comfortable, even though I wasn't really in any danger. But also, it was that inner perfectionist, that inner critic I have, where anytime I start something new, I see the entire path ahead, and I always think it has to be this linear straight line. I see every single step I have to take to get to that final result, whatever that means. And I'd have to have this type of knowledge, this experience, this amount of practice, this resource, this money to buy these products, this, like every single step and all of the things that I need to get there. And if I didn't have that fully formed and thought out and realized immediately, then somehow it was unworthy and I was never going to get there. But that's just perfectionism. That's just hypercriticism of the self. That's not truth. You know, when you look out into the world, there is no single person who has ever started from a place of being fully realized, because that's impossible. You're always a beginner until you're not a beginner. So I reframed that story of, hey, maybe I don't have all of this yet. Maybe I'll never have that. That's okay. I am fully capable of learning, of playing, of experimenting. There's no arbitrary person out there ready to give the stamp of approval that, oh, you're finally ready. You can finally do the things that you need to because you've fully perfected everything before you've even done anything. And that's still a process I'm going through. You know. A healing process, but reframing the narrative around being a beginner and taking risks and going after what I want from a place of, oh, this is my opportunity to really step into from a place of love, of creation, of truth versus fear and lack. Now I still hold myself up to high standards, but I'm cautious of, are those standards real or are those standards perfection? Am I proud of what I've done? Did I have fun? Yes, then it was worth it and I'm worth it. That was a bit of a story, but sometimes it's helpful to speak from experience. And also that inner perfectionism is something I know a lot of people relate to. If you're always trying to wait until you are ready to do something, then you're never going to do something. You're never going to be ready. You're never going to have X perfect amount of knowledge. No one really expects that of you except for yourself. Not yourself, but your ego. It's just another way of keeping you limited and safe, but that safety is an illusion. But whatever the story might be, it might not be perfectionism, it could be any number of things. So just being mindful of where we're speaking from. Actually, I just want to focus on the crown now, channeling this energy. Clearing the channel from your highest self. From infinite knowledge and power, and back into the throat, clearing the space. I'm going to try and edit it out. Hopefully you don't hear my neighbors blasting music again. Balancing your throat. Are you speaking with power? And that includes tone, but that doesn't necessarily mean it has to be aggression. And do you know when to quiet down and listen and hear others' truths? And just because someone has a different truth than yours doesn't mean that yours is invalid. Do you feel safe speaking up if you're actually not in a place of safety where, speaking up may not actually be good for you? Then by all means, don't. There's other ways to express it. Writing things down and burning them if you can, or burying them. let anyone else tell you you need to speak out if you don't feel ready to. You know, not every single truth needs to be expressed to someone else. It's just about clearing the expression within yourself, especially if you're not ready for it. Your truth is not any less valid just because no one else knows about the situation. Sorry, that was kind of a weird. I just felt really called to really draw up. Pardon, Falcon, who you may have seen in my last point of view video, and multiple before that, decided to stop by and try to knock everything down. I'm actually seeing my ears started ringing, so I asked if there were any messages. Saw clouds. Getting the sense if you're ever feeling stuck or blocked. I'm getting writer's block. Gazing at the sky, gazing at clouds, asking if you're an animist like me, asking those sky spirits for inspiration. Might be helpful. I'm someone who often likes to work with forces of nature in my practice, so especially if the sky. So that's a message for someone, or multiple someones. Cloud gazing. Using the blue appetite to bring power and purpose to your words. For your words to be aligned with truth. Just start getting hiccups. your words and your actions align? Are you acting from that truth? Are you creating from that truth? Are you being? Sweeping away any energetic debris. From anyone who's trying to take away your power. Trying to use the words to speak over you. And sometimes you're the person who unknowingly is speaking over other people. Be mindful of those times where you are interrupting people more than usual. Not letting people finish a thought. Giving your opinion where no one really asked for it, especially if it's someone you barely know. You know, does it always need to be said? Probably not. Not everything does. Speaking of clouds, this crystal, I'm not sure entirely what it is. It didn't come marked. I don't think it's sodalite. It might begin with a D. I might be making it up. It might be sodalite. But it feels very throat oriented. But also these white patterns with the sky blue just reminds me so much of the sky. So just channeling this in, bringing a sense of lightness, of freedom, of movement and shape, but flexible, into your words, into your expression. We don't always have to be so rigid in our communication style, allowing a clarity of understanding others and their communication style. Allowing that sense of freedom. Because at least for me, the throat often really feels like freedom to me. It aligns with that energy. yourself to have some playfulness in your words. Just gonna put this under your feet real quick. So smiley all of a sudden. It's probably a good sign. Just felt called to tell someone you are loved. I mean, I can tell everyone here you are loved. That is true. But there is a very specific voice telling me that. So I don't know who that's for. Not sure who exactly that's for. But I'm sensing young parents almost. Late 20s through the 30s, maybe, whatever they may be. Alright. Beyond that last message, energy feels clearer. It feels very free, kind of flowy, but not ungrounded. And Falcon's fully ready for me to pay attention to her. So, thank you so much for being here with me today. I hope that was helpful in some way. hope some of those messages resonated. I honor you on your journey. Have a good rest of your night.